So I'm still talking about this because I'm still doing this. I am done the 40 days, but I'm not done the last project, which she wanted me to make collages for every, if I want, whatever I want to get done for the year, I make a collage for it. So I don't know if I'll get this done, but I'm dreaming big. And so here I put my house, picture of my house with this from last year with the sunflowers and the squash and stuff. And then I added some crocus because I like crocus, and some fiddleheads, and I added some other things in here, some walnuts, because anyway, these are my golden berries from last year, and I put woman and man house sparrow because I have those living in my apple tree right now. And I love little chickadees, so I put a bunch of those in there. And I put some lilacs and roses, and I know these things don't bloom at the same time, and no, you can't grow hibiscus in Lethbridge unless you have a greenhouse, which I would like to have, and that's a lovely greenhouse. And what I'd like to have is a smokestack coming out the top of that, and a fireplace on the inside, and a bed in there so I can look up and watch the stars and lay in bed, and in the greenhouse filled with hibiscus around it. Anyway, so, and here's James with his Saskatoon pails, and there I am with my garden produce and some other stuff here. Anyway, this was a picture of me in this house, my first garden here. And what else do I have in here? Oh, I might want to grow these. I'm not sure. They're supposed to be pretty good thing to grow up in Alberta, even northern Alberta. Anyway, that's a picture of my apple tree. So I took that picture last apple harvest time. And that's a picture of my cherry tree there and other things, and there's my juniper, you know, so this is my photo in the background too. So I've you can see, I think you can see what I'm hoping to get done with this year. This is my one what did she call these things? Do you remember? I don't know. But
it wasn't wish list, was it?
This takes me a whole day to just glue these down. That's not including finding the pictures and from magazines or James's books and cutting them out. No, I'm kidding. I didn't cut books up. Not James's
I knew she was
books.
kidding.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that to make these. But anyway, I guess this is supposed to show the universe what I want, and it's supposed to keep me striving towards it somehow.
On course.
Yeah. It's supposed to remind me, oh yeah, that's what I want to do. So this is how I'm going to get there. But really, like for the is this the third board that I've made?
At least the third.
I think third. And they're exhausting to make. They're a lot of work, and now I'm like, I need to be getting weeding done, and I need to be getting the garden, and da 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 da. And but you know, it was rainy today, and I was like,
Yep.
So I did this anyway. And so today it didn't cost me any time really, but there's a lot of things that I'd rather be doing. And anyway, but I would like to continue on growing food and going out and picking Saskatoons and wild blueberries and stuff, and all of these, like hibiscus, these flowers are edible. So if James has a little greenhouse full of his favorite kinds of flowers, he can eat them if he wants to.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Sometimes they taste pretty good.
All of these are edible. So this is edible. This little oregano here, that's edible. And I can't imagine anybody would want to eat squash leaves, but you can. So all this stuff is edible here. And
I think that bird likes those flowers.
Yeah.
Big enthusiasm up there about something.
It smells like lilacs today. The lilacs are open.
Well, yeah. In some places they're ahead
like
of here, but I think a lot depends on breed or whatever of lilac, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And I put a castle here for us to strive towards living in a castle one day, rather than this alley.
Yeah, just so long as we don't have to deal with the regular inhabitants of a castle, you know, like aristocrats or
Because I may
kings
as
or
well dream
queens.
big.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is dreaming pretty big for me. Little greenhouse. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with this image board, or whatever this board is supposed to be called. Oh, what I did is I hardly had to buy ingredients for whatever for this at all. I've well, I can keep my Post-it on the back, but I'll show you what this is. This just came from the garbage of the, not recently, I'm not getting anything from the garbage right now because I don't want to get COVID. Although
I saw
I see
someone
people going through garbage like crazy.
a dumpster.
Like they'll go through, like watch your garbage can.
Mhm.
They'll go through it and then you touch it. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So wear gloves. Anyway, this was from the flooring company. They have tiles that they glue on the backs of these things, and these are awesome masonite boards. So I just scrape the tiles off, and then I can use these for whatever. Like often, well, you've seen me, I think, before. I tape the wet watercolor paper onto these boards, so that, like, onto the other side, this side, the smooth side, so that I can just paint on one of these boards. So then I just tack it around wherever. If I want to paint on the deck, I can tack the board out and go ahead and do that. Anyway, but I usually just paint in my living room if I'm gonna do it, although I haven't in a long time because I got depressed. But I think I'll be fine now because I'm doing collages like crazy.
Poetry too.
And poetry.
And song lyrics.
Yeah.
Pauline finished her first song.
So I've already
today.
written songs, but I've written songs that James doesn't like as much, and so he's taught me how to make different songs. And we'll see how this goes. I haven't put any melody to it or anything because that's not how I did songs before. How I did songs is I'd get the melody at the same time as I was writing. And now I've written something and I don't know what the melody is, but it might pop into my head.
I think it'll
we'll
be great.
see.
You know, if it doesn't work out the first time, just put it on the back burner and come back to it next day or whenever.
But I'm very tired. Anyway, so at first when I was doing these, I think James got some food on it. So I'm going to have to clean that off because
Is that today
it's
or
a
just
library just now.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's fine. It came right off.
Good.
So, yeah, because this is a library book. I try to take very good care of the
That's
library.
right. We're not trying to make it so that they
And,
say water damage and put it up for sale.
So, yeah, because we're still hanging on to the librarians because they don't want them back until COVID is resolved.
Be a couple of years. Someone was on the radio saying, 2002 sometime. And I was like, yeah, it might be realistic.
2022.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think it's good. I haven't, like, what I'll do is I'll varnish this to keep it all in place. I've just used a glue stick to glue it down right now. And this isn't how I do them usually. Usually I tape them with magic tape, the pictures, into just the right place that I want them. And then I stress out about gluing them later on. And usually don't even end up gluing them because I stress out about it too much. But this time I glued it down with glue stick, and then, so things are not in the same place as I laid them out originally. They're roughly, well, most of it's roughly in the same spot, but this whole part here, actually, yeah, a lot of it's different, but I like the layout.
I think it's great.
I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And I will certainly continue to try to grow food and harvest healthy food for James and I to eat. And one day I hope to have a lovely little greenhouse like this. And I don't know when that'll be. But right
It looks
now
nice
we're...
and homey, eh?
Yes,
Cozy,
this looks really
comfy.
cozy. And what I always wanted was to have a little like gazebo with like this,
Yeah.
you know, so I had, because this is sort of like a gazebo greenhouse, and so then I can look out at the stars at night up, and I want to have solar lights all along my path to get to this little greenhouse gazebo, and so I can walk out at night, because I'll probably be on a farm, I hope.
Yeah,
And
there won't be that much light pollution.
no, there won't
so.
be. So I want to be able to see my way to get here, and then light my little fire, and so I can stay all cozy in there, look at the stars, probably fall asleep in there, looking at the stars, and it'll be lovely. Oh, and I also want this castle is near, it looks like a river. So I want my gazebo to be near the river, because I want to be able, or the ocean or some water, because I want to be able to hear the water moving while I'm in the gazebo.
Yeah, that's kind of. I've always liked sounds like that.
Yeah.
I even liked the sound of vacuum cleaner. The thing that put me to sleep the best of anything was sleeping near Victoria Falls. You know?
Boy, that'd
That's
be
a-
loud, you'd think.
Well, it wasn't right next to it, but
Oh.
a little upstream of it. I don't know. It was fairly loud, but it was just. I mean, the Tonga name for it would be something like the smoke that thunders. I think it'd be Tonga or else Shona. The smoke that thunders, Mosi Tunya, something like that. When you get right next to it, you feel the ground shaking.
Anyway, I still don't think that I would recommend this book, but I think that I have benefited from it. Like I really did my own sort of 40-day therapy
Yeah.
while I was doing this, and it was working out pretty good. And so I've been productive.
Very productive.
And I feel pretty good with what I've accomplished. I feel great, actually, so with what I've accomplished. So, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it, really. I'm still not done, because I still have lots of things that I want to get done this year, and like I said, I'm trying to think big, because why not? Why not plan out a whole bunch of big dreams and hope for a good year? You know, just because you're stuck in isolation because of some rich people wanderlusting it around the globe.
Yep. Yep. And
Whatever.
stupid people saying they
Just hope that it's not going to last
Travel
forever, and
bans
you'll
didn't
get
work,
back out
lockdowns
hiking
didn't
or
work.
whatever, and you won't have to worry about catching COVID as well as hepatitis from the bales that drug addicts are peeing in alongside of your house that you're trying to grow
fun
food
times.
in. But anyway, so that's all I have to say. You, James?
Yeah, well, I'm going to do what I did yesterday. I'm not quite finished, so that you don't have to worry about a spoiler alert. I'm going through a
I'm gonna
My
put
Gray
this away while
saying.
he's telling you about
So
it.
it's 5 My Gray stories by Georges Simenon. And I'm close to finish the first one in here, and it is what it is. The guy was a formulaic writer. He tried, I think, to write after consulting with police, at least eventually, as to how the police operated. No, I would be shocked if they allowed access to journalists the way he shows access in the first novel I read. It's just like they're besieging the commissioner. No, this is not a commissioner of police, it's more like a superintendent. right outside his office door. That would not happen over in North America in any. I mean, this is in Paris, France, so it wouldn't happen in a large place like that. It would not happen in something happened like that in the city of Lethbridge. Heads would roll. Now, the other thing that amazes me is how these guys drink like at noontime. I think it's when they're on duty, when they're working overtime, and it's not just beer, it's white wine, and it's not just that, it's like brandy. So, if I knew someone who drank as much as this Mike Ray is drinking over here, I'd be worried they were at least borderline alcoholic. But, maybe that's the culture. I don't know. Can't be healthy. Of course, the French life expectancy is very long, so maybe it is healthy.
So yesterday I made some. Oh, sorry. Were you done that? Mothering?
We got this from the library
For free.
for free. I don't recommend getting his stuff new either in the original or in translation, but it might be worth your while to go through a few, see what the culture's like. I think he's their most favorite. He's like their Agatha Christie, most favorite writer. And like I say, it's more like Hollywood TV shows like Canon, Magnum PI. Only this guy ain't good looking like Tom Selleck. Canon, more like Canon, overweight and whatever. Hawaii 5-0, only not as good looking as, what was his name, James McGarrett or something like that. So it's just, it's the French, as I was saying, they pride themselves on not being like American. I'm going, what are you talking about? When you're not like Americans, these are French in the old country, you are inferior. Anyway, enough of that.
So, I should mention that James likes eating. I got him into this. Just with rice, you can put. You could use almond butter or peanut butter or any kind of nut or seed butter as just a sauce to mix in with your rice, and it's really yum. So I got James into this, and now he's really going for it.
Yeah.
And so he's having the.
I put it on the bread that you make. I put it on this stuff.
But I can't have almond butter right now either. I can't have peanut butter. I can't have almond butter. I can't have sugar because all sorts of things will set me off into having night sweats, which are not fun. So I can avoid that if I avoid those things.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
the thing to do is to just keep a diary.
Yeah.
Food diary.
Yeah. But I can have this. This doesn't give me night sweats. So yesterday I told you about the what is it? The regular natural. I can't remember flavor. The regular one. And I mixed that with dandelion juice and made popsicles out of it, and it was awesome. Well, so yesterday the batch of popsicles that I made, which are ready now, which are awesome, I made out of this flavor. So this is natural cappuccino, extra energy, greens plus. And I emptied out one of these 30 servings, so I made a bunch of ice cube tray popsicles for later out of this. And I was just licking it off of my fingers and stuff because I was getting it everywhere. Yesterday while I was making them. And Delish Dandelion Plus. Because I was thinking, well, dandelions have kind of a bitter taste, but cappuccino, coffee tastes bitter. And we like that. And so I tried this. And yum. So good. So, I actually prefer the popsicles, the dandelion popsicles with this, dandelion juice is horrid. So I definitely prefer it to dandelion juice. And I prefer those dandelion greens popsicles to greens protein shakes. Because these are way too sweet. They put too much stevia in the. I think the reason that they do that is because a lot of the time when people decide to try to manage their diets, to try to make some healthier choices, they've already run into health problems. So I think that these pre-mixed protein drinks and health drinks with stevia in them, they're sweet enough to interest diabetics. So diabetics have a hard time. They don't taste sweet as well as people who don't have diabetes taste sweet. So then they end up having more sweet, which just gets them into more trouble, right?
Yeah.
It's just a terrible terrible cycle, I guess, that they get into. And so anyway, this stuff is normally too sweet for me, but as a popsicle, it's just right. Just right. Wow. I'm so glad that I discovered this, because I dread drinking this greens powder, actually, because it's way too sweet. The stevia, I'm like, I gotta mix it with something like bitter, like dandelion juice, just to get it down. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Is this is even better than the regular flavor. So good. And I guess that's all I have to talk about. You good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, that's it.